It's bad. Get your girl all the way up, just like that. And then you're done. That's how it goes right at the top.
Please let me know your questions down below as to what you want me to break. So many videos about the next month. So
I'm trying to find Christians who, whether they're pro-lifers and maybe they agree with abolitionism. They won't know unless I have the conversation.
But my concern is, will you talk to even the pro-choicers? Because sometimes I look at the lives and it seems like which works out perfect for from the pro-choice perspective. If we're just infighting between each other, we're just dividing each other, that just is a win for pro-choice.
Well, I reject that because a lot of these Christians who are pro-choicers, they're not even discipled. They're not even interacting with actual Christians. So I don't see an issue with what I'm doing, and I don't find it to be infighting because technically, we don't agree. As far as abortion goes, you know what I mean?
I think that it's a joke stand. Obviously, that's not directed at you or even True Joy. We've had some, obviously we've had, me and True Joy, we gotta go back even further. But, we disagree on theology like that. But, inviting me to the panels, having a talk, etc., being open to the conversation, you guys are, really good examples of, what it could be, what it should be, and also what I try myself. So, I think that if that's the case, then I'm okay with that. Try to have a conversation with you guys and present the pro-life side. You guys provide the abolitionist side, and I'm okay with that. I just don't like that sometimes where it becomes infighting, that becomes really, really, kind of insane.
Well, I would say that the infighting would come from others who want to just come up on abolitionist panels that are pro-lifers, and they just want to reductio to make us look dumb.
Do you think that there are persons who are abolitionists? I'm not throwing you in this, trust me. Would you not consider that there are certain abolitionists? I know that I was, at least at one panel, I wasn't even given a chance. I was muted, I was kicked off, I was thrown off, not even given a chance to even have a word say edgewise. That's happened more than once. And, I don't think my reputation is a flamethrower that, I try to, really, I'm not someone that tries to, go after people and bash them or anything like that. Let's just have a simple conversation. It was, I think his name was, Equal Rights or something like that, or Equal Protection Michigan or something like that.
Minnesota,
that's what it is, yeah. That's a classic example.
Brian can be a bit aggressive.
It's very rash.
Yeah, he's been taking some time away and been spending time really considering and trying to be repentive for that behavior as well, I will say. But
that's fair. And look, and if he's able to turn from that with the clear-minded, people can do wrong actions, people can repent, people can change. So I'm willing to give him that grace because God knows I need the grace as well. I'm okay with that. But I that doesn't lead to a healthy conversation. That's just leads stress to a fracture. So I'm not expecting you to solve that. You can't be responsible for his actions. That's not on you. I'm definitely not, saying that is. But ultimately, I want these conversations. That's the same way I try to do with pro-choice as well. I have people that I wholeheartedly disagree with on the pro-choice side, but I try to have the conversation where I'm not going to just sit there and tell you, oh, you're the absolute worst, you're going to hell, you're an evil person. Like, I don't think that leads someone to, like, oh, well, I want to have this conversation, make sure it's some crazy shit. So, I mean,
and I personally have expressed that we don't need to intentionally agitate people. We don't need to intentionally, we don't need to intentionally make people upset.
Yeah.
Just because we think it's funny or whatever. I agree with that.
Away from puck drop for period number 3.
That is why I want to talk to Christians. That's why I want to talk to pro-lifers. And if you're pro-choice, because but yeah, that's just, I have a
yeah, that's fair. Like I said, like I will always say that, like, our interactions have always been great. Like, so where we disagree, it's not based on the spirit of the conversation or your convictions or ultimately like our areas of agreement, etc. So hopefully that continues. I'm not saying you. Like, I'm not worried about you. I'm not worried about true joy. But I think that ultimately, those are the type of conversations that are going to exist. And I even think pro-choice was first an example. If that's the example you guys are going to set, I think that's going to lead to better conversations for you guys as well with that.
I feel like you're just saying we're soft. Like,
if you want to take that as that true joy is like, well, that makes you soft. I would honestly say, like, if being soft means that you can actually have conversations and actually talk to people that you disagree with, versus the, oh, well, let me score points for my own side, but on the same side, like, alien people that we might be able to change their opinion on. Maybe we have different goals.
It's like you're calling LGBTs. How do you feel about Miranda?
I'm not gonna engage with that. Like, I don't have any, like, as far as, like, with her, I don't have any, like,
so just answer Scooter's question.
Honestly, we wholeheartedly disagree, and
we are
that whatever the
just about
conversation
to
was
start
last time
period
that we
number 3 for
talked,
those of you just
I did
joining
express
us.
the same thing that I did about some of the conversations and some of the people, like, some of how my interactions have gone, to express that concern to her. But I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not fair to her to go beyond that.
Would you say that I find it encouraging to see individuals like Jeff Durbin, John MacArthur take hard stances on things and not shy away or back down from them, right? And I see a lot of abolitionists do that, and it's encouraging. And it's like, hey, I'm not going to compromise. I'm not going to participate in these particular things. These are where my convictions are. I don't want to fault them for that. Can I get carried away? Yes. Am I glad? Like I'm going to use Minnesota as an example that he's taking the time away to reflect. Yeah, I think you can get still something that you fail to see what's actually happening in front of you, right? But I don't want to discourage any abolitionist that has convictions to not compromise on the smallest of things, right? I don't want to bind somebody's conscience, and I definitely don't want to unbind it where the Holy Spirit is doing it, right? So,
you just say it's all politics, right? If you follow politics, like, look, there's the approach that, and I'm sure I'm even going to mention a Catholic and a Protestant. who both do the outside apologetics, and look at their approaches, right? Look at how God logic, look at how he handles this, right? Like how he handles like outside apologetics, and look how he's able to be graceful. And then look how Samson handles things. Go take those two and see which one you think is actually going to win people over.
I think logic.
I witness it. Simmons is a better way of thinking. They say that Sam doesn't think with the way that he talks things, but I think the approaches are very different.
And we have to understand that Islamic culture, a lot of what Samson does when he gets rash, I guess, with them, abrasive, it's part of the culture. Right? It's considered masculine. I
Realize that your wife is a...
No, it isn't.
And so many other things that he says, like that's going to be where the issue is.
Well, so let's say he says, your prophets in hell getting, I mean, he uses pretty,
Yeah.
and so is your brother. But that, if that brought that individual to saving faith somehow through the conversation, was it productive or not productive?
I think that's where you start getting a conversation in a very, almost a utilitarian argument.
It makes scriptures very clear, though, right? We don't talk like that.
Create a good, will allow evil as an evil. So, like, that's the issue I would have. But my whole point of bringing them two up is that they're both very talented in what they do. Sam Shamin is very talented in what he does. But one of them is able to, I think, not only do really good at time, but also able to set a very good example of how that should look like. And look, I just showed you this. I showed a Protestant and a Catholic. Like, obviously I think those Catholics that do a really good job too. And like, I'm just trying to show you that there is a certain example of like how we should go.
Yeah, and I think that that's the way that we should be doing apologetics, right? We should be being as considerate as possible, as gracious as possible for the person that we're talking to, but that doesn't necessarily mean compromising in what we believe necessarily.
Yeah, and from my forte in the comments, yeah, I understand he's converting more people. He says all the time he need to change. I agree. I pray for him. I think he recognized it. I hope that he takes some time. Like, I just don't want to see him continue to go down the same road because he's racing what he has.
Come on.
What I'm saying is that he could, like, as good as he is, he could do so much better. But that's one thing that I've looked into is I've looked at,
stick, dude.
which really apologetic and even doing this type of ministry where we're trying to appeal to pro-life. They have where we're trying to like bring people to Christ, which is one of the things that she can mention that like as part of what's going. So we have some things in common in that particular sense, but there's different approaches of how we can do that. And I'm just saying that I think that look, me and True Christian Mike from True Christian Ministry, we disagree on a lot. Like as far as especially Catholic, but I like the fact that I've had conversations to a certain extent with him, and we're able to put our disagreements to the side to acknowledge that hey, agreements in certain areas and have to well, you're an enemy and I'm and vice versa.
Yeah, and we would agree that there are definitely similarities between the pro-life and abolitionist movement.
Should bring the Lance Rogers
the way in which we reach the end goal is distinct, right? And that's what separates.
So, well, I don't think we have the same end goal.
Sorry?
Do you think we have the same end goal?
Oh, we do want differently.
But not. Well, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I think that the end goal is that God is glorified in the through Him moving the nation into abolition, not through us doing it through worldly means.
I think the end is that wow,
that's why I said
for life
Yeah, true, Joy. That's why I said that the way in which we go about it is distinct. It's not. I'm not saying the goal is not the same. I'm saying that the goal, the means in which we go about doing it, is distinct. Right?
I'm sorry.
So Mike would say that by, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, please, it would necessarily be by going and slowly changing the law so that it's able to slowly teach the society or the culture that what they're doing is wrong, by incrementally changing it, so going from whatever it is now to like 20 weeks and then down to 10 weeks and then eventually to full abolition would be the way that you would want to go about doing it, correct?
Well, whenever it's feasible, like, I don't think that if you had, like, if we're talking about a law that we could possibly pass that, like, let's say it banned it at 6 weeks, but you also had a law that banned it at 15 weeks, both you could actually pass. I don't think that you can go into that statement and say, oh, I'm just going to pass the 15-week bill, knowing that you could pass the 6-week bill and ban it, and that would have the impact of reducing abortion. So, no, I do think that there is limits on it. It should ultimately end towards the goal of eliminating abortions altogether. It's just stating that if you have the only possibility being that you can reduce, like, get it down to 6 weeks, or there's no other option, which just allows for it to continue. You should keep the option that reduces it overnight.
Yeah, so limiting as much as physically possible. Exactly. Yeah. So then, the distinctive would be abolitionists would necessarily be trying to do that through the conversion of people becoming Christians, because then they would necessarily align themselves with God's law and what God has already prescribed to us, and then would then be
through the gospel of Christ as well. I should
but that's a method in which we can do these things. I'm not saying that that's the only method. I'm saying it's a method, not the method.
I'm saying we should offer those ways to either reduce it, not giving for society. If you look at things like chattel slavery, even like movement towards like something to say, like, to allow, the same, group to be allowed to marry. Like, they didn't do the steps to get down to, like, stuff. Like, they worked towards ways to, like, be a more good society. So,
correct.
we would be, I think that ultimately you're right. And the ultimate goal is to try to, get people to Christ and like that. And hopefully, but also, not only is ultimate Christ, but also to the point to where they have the same ethics. Because as we've seen, you give people Christ, we'll still take on pro-choice views.
And the aspect to true joy is that by converting
The Overton window. First it was, gay marriage, then transgenderism, like at Overton window.
To make that judgment that we shouldn't be pro-choice because this is what God says, right? And then that's the way in which we're able to achieve the laws that we want to achieve, because necessarily there would be more people that would ascribe to the morality that we're putting forth in the bills that we're trying to seek. We're trying to achieve at this point in time in terms of abortion is that goal of complete and total abolition. I'm not saying that we shouldn't be glorifying God in what we're doing. I'm just saying that the goal in which we're trying to achieve with abortion is the complete and total abolition of it. And
There's
the
a black
distinction
hole.
between the pro-life movement and the abolition movement is what I've just mentioned. Does that make sense?
Moments away from puck drop for period number 3. A perfect time for those
And
viewers just
like
joining
going
us here
further than
tonight.
to what I wanted to say was that, you know, like
Still
I
zeros on the board here
understand
as
the
we are
apologetic
underway in the
side
third.
completely. Like I do love equal protection a lot because he's very knowledgeable, awesome guy, very passionate. But I definitely think I agree with in terms of the way in which we go about doing apologetics should be a little bit more graceful, and as well, like hanging out with heroes and virtue. I think necessarily we should be appealing to people and convincing them of arguments, not in and of ourselves being able to do those things, but through the Spirit working within us to do that. Because it's not anything but us that we're able to convince people. We're not proselytizing to them, we're evangelizing to them. You know what I mean?
And that's great. And like I said, I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys are really precious for me.
I clearly won 350. I don't know.
I think that's good. So, yeah, that was my main goal. Is I just want to get us to the point to where we can have better conversations between, of course, with pro-choicers as well. I realize that, and we're going off a little bit with some of the comments, but I have different stands. Like, I think that you should be appreciative of this qualifier. You see, because my stance was pragmatic. My stance.
We are just about to start period number 3 for those of you just joining us. Perfect timing here tonight.
Yeah, like I like Victor as well, but you know Victor very well, coach. You know what Victor's like. He's very similar to Equal in that way, but I again very knowledgeable people, but very it can be very challenging at times when engaging with other people, you know. But like, I'd love to continue having chats with you guys, you know. It's just sometimes people in these communities to talk to people, unfortunately, you know.
Yeah, that's fair. Tickets are going to show up in like some of the pro-life lives and stuff like that. So I think that helps because we just that. That they can just say, hey, you know, you can't just put everything down as just an extreme one way or another. Same thing with pro-lifers. Like, I think that's what's valuable is because once we become just like these, almost like we can just build each other into like these anime characters almost, etc. And like we can just build this depiction of one another and not in the most charitable way. Then I think that just builds walls and like takes away from the conversation. So that's why we should be making caricatures of each other. Yeah, I can only imagine what mine was like.
I get what you're saying. I do.
Yeah, but that was pretty much. I'm gonna drop because I'm gonna go to bed in a minute. But thank you for having me up at Chicken and great to see you guys. You all have a blessed night and yeah, looking forward to the conversation in the future.
Yeah, thanks for coming out. God bless.
God bless.
Nobody called you soft. Nobody.
Did you just...
Moments away from puck drop for period number 3. A perfect time for those viewers just joining us here tonight. And we are still scoreless. Puck is dropped. We are underway here in a very tight game here in the third. Gets a piece of it and will play on.
Yeah, it looks like
Lots of time left in this period. Still looking for our first goal. won it in their own end. The Islanders get a hold of the puck. Right in the low slot. Puck grab by Smith. The Islanders gain control of the puck. And he's got the answer for that one. From the left side, takes the pass. Slides the puck to Celebrini. Here's a shot. Stops him cold. Beautiful feed up ahead from the right wing side.
Well, Ron say you believe the Bible, but you're going to contradict the Bible. How does that make sense?
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you said that you believe the Bible. Is that not incorrect?
No, that's what I said.
Yes. So then my question to you is, how are you holding to the Bible while contradicting what the Bible says?
Okay.
I remember what she says.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes, it's to you once again.
I said I'm an abolitionist. Yeah, I did answer your question. I'm an abolitionist. That is how I have found life.
Where's the contradiction? Because your Bible belief.
I'm an abolitionist. Do you know what an abolitionist is?
Well, one here, just to make sure I understand.
Okay, an abortion abolitionist is
to
seeking
start
to
period
establish
number 3 for
human
those of you just
legal
joining us.
justice.
Perfect timing here tonight. And we are still scoreless.
So,
Still looking for that first goal of the game here as we get underway in the third. Oh, she got a piece of it to
image
keep it out.
papers.
Risky
They are
play, but she reads it
and then
perfectly with the
abortion
poke.
is the act of murder.
Palat's got
And
the
then when
puck from the
murder is
back end.
committed, pre-abortion,
The flick.
there's equal justice.
Always
Game
passes
possession off the
time
wall.
limits.
And she takes
Oh
off
my
a
gosh.
Pro-choice.
The Islanders get a hold of the puck in their own end.
Abortion
And tries to
abolitionist
make a diagonal pass to
life.
Finney.
So,
And that's broken up with a stick in front.
and
And
pro-choice.
we'll get a face-off
So
after
when
the
it comes
offside
to
call.
life, I'm speaking of like the
I was trying to run a video about that.
like the movement in mainstream pro-life. So not like your pro-life that you'd see on TikTok.
Portrat's one possession after that neutral zone draw.
What we contend with is
The Islanders gain possession along the wall.
exceptions. The pro-life mainstream and they also to the second narrative. Are you familiar with the second narrative?
I would assume that would be like assuming you got raped and things of that nature, right?
No, they would say that the mother is a victim of like society and culture for which she goes to work with the child.
I got you. Yes.
She's just so dumb that she's convinced.
Moments away from puck drop for period number 3. A perfect time for those viewers just joining us here tonight. And we are still scoreless. Still zeros on the board here as we drop the puck on the third. Here's a short pass to Corey. From the neutral zone now. And they'll go the other way with it. Great play by Palat. Quick feed to Panik. Carries it into the offensive end up the middle. From the point, they take control of it. The Frost have taken possession of their own end. Gaining steam here on the attack. Stopped by the goaltender.
What an incredible glove save by the goaltender. I mean, he gets out to the top of his crease. He's challenging. He's saying, hey, try and beat me on this side.
Oh, and that's poked away in the offensive zone by Finney. Puck scooped up by Corey. They gain possession here inside the neutral zone. New York's gained possession along the boards. Through center along the wing. Makes a move and the puck hops away from him.
Nychuk's close to finding a hole there and just an extra here. Got a little more time and space than he actually had.
it's the mainstream movement. It does follow.
Well, this game looks like it's going right down to the wire, James. And one of the most important things to do now is make sure you make good blue line decisions.
They gain the offensive zone from the middle. He grabs the puck here at the point.
That's what the movement stands for. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pro-life is they believe the second victim narrative. Maybe not you, and like the pro-lifers that are in my chat, they would not agree with that because they are chronically online and they don't agree with the mainstream pro-life. So that's what I'm saying too.
So maybe we came off on bad terms. Like, how would you define pro-life? When you just say that, like, in most cases, like, I can understand some, like, arbitrary here and there would be the case, but in most cases, like, you shouldn't unalive your child, and that would be pro-life.
Well, if there are cases that you can murder your child, then that would not be pro-life.
Number 3 for those of you just joining us.
So, even in the case that, like, the child's being unalived by mother.
Yeah. So you should murder the child?
Well, no, we should take...
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, we should take every step necessary to keep the child alive. But I'm trying to bake it into the hypothetical of either the mother dies or the child dies, just to make sure I get your position correct.
Yep, so the mother should self-sacrifice. Yeah, the mother should self-sacrifice. She shouldn't be allowed and afforded the option to murder her child to save her life. You wouldn't say that she should do that if her child was born.
I got you, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, but I want you to understand with the mainstream pro-life movement. So I'm not talking about people that you talk to on TikTok, because a lot of people who say they're pro-life on TikTok, they don't agree with mainstream pro-life either. So this is me strictly the mainstream people. So with the organizations like Rights for Life, Citizens for Life, Students for Life, those groups, they actually sent out an open letter to legislators back in 2023. It was over 70 pro-life organizations, and they said that they would not support any legislation that would give equal protection to the unborn children because it would criminalize the mother.
If it is the case that the mother is actively choosing that, and it seems like a selfish option, that seems to be a place for you always person, because in other cases, assuming you're pregnant and I unalive you, that's a double homicide, so like that doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow for me.
Okay, and then so abolitionists put through a bill, presented a bill, and it was equal human rights, equal protection, abortion is murder. And pro-life legislators all voted no to hear the bill. So they reject equal human rights and equal protection. That's all the bill said. But it was because the mother would be criminalized if she were to partake in the act of murder.
Okay, I think I understand your stance now. So you're saying
I'm not pro-life.
are women that just don't want to take accountability. That's just my.
I just think they have and that's the one thing about abolitionists is we're gospel centered. So with the act of abortion, it is a sin. And
Right.
the only remedy for sin is and that's what's most important. So these women, they're not just irresponsible. They're not just opening their legs. Like that is just the dumbest argument to even. They have a murderous heart. They need to hear the gospel, and they need to be presented with scripture. So we're gospel centered, and eventually, and through the church, engaging biblically and sobriety with no compromise is the abolitionist position.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be good out there. Mostly, so like when I think pro-life, the idea here is that we do everything possible to keep the child alive, and birth is at conception. So I think we like mostly agree here.
Are you a Protestant Christian?
No, I'm Orthodox.
Okay, well then we disagree.
Well, I guess we could have that argument, but it's not like
not at 2 a.m.
Yeah, it's not your parents. You know, if you want to get into it, fair enough, but I'll leave that up to you.
Yeah, so the only thing that I would say is, so you can go to abolitionistrising.com. That is where you can read, like, the Norman Statement. This is, like, the dogma of being an abolitionist. So you can just read more about the movement. If you agree with it, I say amen. If you agree. But yeah, that's what the abolitionist movement is. We're Protestant Christians. So.
Yeah, as far as like this topic is concerned, I don't think we would see much representation because the topic would move into like Orthodox v. Protestant, which it's not your debate topic. So I'm just gonna be charitable and extend the olive branch and say, hey, like good for you, and leave it there.
Yeah, may God bless your ministry, brother.
Hey, thank you. I am attending some classes to be a catechist, so pray for me.
Okay. Yeah, I will definitely be praying for that. That's amazing. Well, I'm glad we agree, and I'm not a pro-choice Christian.
I can see, based off your the opposition, like, now that I get your supposition, I see your disagreement, so we're cool.
Cool. So, you're welcome back anytime. Maybe we can have some conversation about orthodoxy.
I hate you follow. If and when you want to have that debate, just hit me up, okay?
Alright, sounds good.
Alright, appreciate it. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to EA Sports. I'm James Cebulski. It's a hot challenge, and it's ready to go down.
These days, I'm just going to end it. I'm just going to leave. Yeah, I have yet to make you that one.
What do you mean?
Think of it to those. No, you didn't.
Just
Quick possession along the wall.
Listen.
Nicely done. The Bruins ready to go on the attack. And a great save. Moves it quickly over to the top. Oh, look at this
again. I think, what was it, maybe 2 weeks ago, I did this 5 days ago. Yeah, take Jason's advice. Tell me a dad joke.
I can't do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure where the defense is, but I'll tell you what, the goaltender has been outstanding.
We have 4 please.
Goaltenders practice all the time, tracking.
You're doing good, Queen. Keep it up.
To find the puck at a moment's opportunity, and he finds it.
Y'all are gay.
The Bruins take possession off the faceoff.
The only thing we're missing is like people showing their feet.
Yeah, we do that.
That's nasty. Please not. Do not. Don't. Covering my eyes. Reform. You're Reformed Baptist, right, Logan? Or are you Presbyterian? I don't remember.
And I'm a Reformed Baptist.
It's not. It's a Christian.
No, I'm a
Are
Reformed.
you lying to me?
No,
Queen, you're not supposed to lie.
I was so lying to Mike in the comments. I was like, me and Trinhorn had a 2-hour conversation yesterday. He is a closet Protestant. I never corrected it. I just let him believe it.
Oh my goodness.
Moments away from
You guys play
puck drop
pickleball?
for period number 3. A perfect
Nope.
It's a good time. I should try it.
Hello again. What kind of shoes do frogs wear?
Hey guys, Wildflower here.
just joining us here tonight.
Frogs.
Wildflower, no.
Hello? Hello?
Here we go. Puck is
Open-toed
dropping
sandals.
and the clock is ticking
Oh, I
on the
can't
third
see
period here.
anything.
Let's send it over to Cheryl Pounder and get her assessment of what she's seen so far.
Hello?
Hey, how are you?
20 minutes of play, James. I mean, they're only trailing by one, so there's 20 minutes of run.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
I have a question, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, did I interrupt the conversation? I apologize.
Yeah, probably. Just hold on 1 second.
No. Oh, but you guys should let Machine up again. He'd be nicest to.
Sure. Wildflower, what were you saying?
I didn't know I was supposed to actually say anything. Okay. I'm just gonna. Stupid.
Okay. Oh, what? What are your thoughts on the prompt?
Oh, I'm a Christian. I'm sure you say you're a Christian, right? That's true.
Yeah, that's what I say.
But you're not, like, that's very interesting.
Okay, what do you know what the job? You know what the job top?
I mean, I think being Christian implies that you must
We
be
are
very
just
pro-life,
about to
but
start
I
period
wonder why
number
you don't
3.
think
For
so.
those of you just joining us, perfect time.
It's your repeat every minute ago.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking.
So, I mean, I was
No, you're good.
follow the Let's go.
Me and my mods, we are abolitionists. Since we were pro-life, so there is a distinction between the two things.
Abolitionist? Wait, which sense abolitionist? There's many different senses of abolitionist.
Abortion abolitionists.
And slavery. We abolished that too.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we would
okay, I
be
guess
against
we agree on
slavery,
that.
but yeah, abortion abolitionists.
Oh, okay, fantastic. So, but in the end, you're not pro-life, I guess.
Well, I'm not so I'm not pro-life.
Well, I guess you're pro-life.
Wait, this is literally like the last conversation.
We should do late. I do not know directly like what you mean by abolitionist in like the sense of abolition. I will disagree with that. Not like what an abolitionist is. Because I don't know.
Well, I'm not pro-life because I'm an abolitionist.
What's abolitionist? I'm sorry, I'm curious.
Okay. Yeah, so we want to establish equal human rights and equal justice for all human beings from the moment of fertilization to the glory of God.
That's awesome. How does that not make you pro-life, I guess? Because it sounds...
Because pro-life rejects that.
So, I mean, if you're supporting equality among humans since fertilization, that would support human.
Would be in slavery, but they do have exceptions. They also believe in the second victim narrative. Familiar?
Not directly, though.
So a woman is, when she gets an abortion, she is a victim of her society and culture. So when she commits murder, she shouldn't be culpable for that.
She should absolutely be culpable with that. But if you were
okay,
but that's not.
So the second victim narrative. But the second victim narrative is written into pro-life legislation, stating that pregnant women are seeking abortion, doing abortion pills, or having an abortion performed on them. So she's just criminally liable.
You think they should be covered?
Yes.
I guess you're more for
There's three groups. I guess anti-abortion would be another group, but so like anti-abortion and abolitionists, we would reject pro-life and reject pro-choice.
Oh, right. There's like a third position. Okay, interesting. So, well, I mean, I guess we don't disagree on too much, but then I'm wondering, do you think that in any case there should be an abortion committed?
So when we're referring to abortion, we're saying the act of murder. So it would be an unjustified taking of a human life. So no, there would be no exceptions to do that.
Awesome. Oh, wow. Okay. That's fantastic. I definitely agree to that. I think when you make the point that I'm not pro-life, and then you also say you're Christian, it might mislead some people.
It's not misleading. It's meant to be thought-provoking and have Christians come up here and talk about it, because a lot of people are not aware of the pro-life movement and what they support and what they are actually saying with their mouths but putting forth in legislation. So it is made to be thought-provoking and for pro-lifers that are Christians to come up here.
Yeah, they're really bad people. You should put on.
No, don't listen to them.
Wait, I'm serious. Wait, what makes them bad people?
He's trying to be silly.
I think a lot of people they think in two different ways, like pro-life, pro-choice. Like, do you either believe that abortion should not exist, or it should be an option available? Yeah, it's just, I guess I'm just trying to say it's like narrative, like most people.
That's why I do this.
That's fantastic. Well, I do kind of like what you're doing, because I think a lot of Christians are upset, especially when it comes to abortion, specifically in Catholics.
Are you Catholic?
That's I'm Orthodox.
You're not Spectre. I'm just kidding. I'm making this joke. Repeats. This is literally a repeat of the last guest that we had. Yes, he was also Orthodox. He's far away right now.
At the end of the day, we're Christians, right?
Yeah, I do believe.
Two back to back.
Is that literally not the same cup?
Should we, right, minimize, right, should we then take a pic?
That's bad.
Leah's really good at it. She just puts up a picture of a duck. Or
Rhetoric. That's just
it's dinner is what it is.
It's just great.
It's all in your phone.
Are you oral?
Obviously.
Crazy.
Both teams lined up in the middle. We are ready to get things
Yeah,
underway.
it seems to be.
The Flyers take this.
No greater love than this than he who lays down his life for his friends. It was, like you said, the mother should be self-sacrificing.
Moves around along the half wall. And now it's stopped. Slides it quickly to Hughes.
I'm surprised they got quiet. I mean,
There is
they hate everything else they say.
Save, and he handles it with ease. Sanheim's got the puck in his own zone.
Give him that reductio or hypothetical, whatever, that I think did earlier. You see what he says.
Which one?
One of
Right on it, showing his athleticism to make those saves.
It was. That's what I don't remember the whole thing, but do you remember this one with the Truths? I think it's the Truths, and it prevents 20,000 babies from being raped.
he said he didn't
Huge opportunity
hurry up.
in this game, James, but it hit the pipe, and now they're chasing.
It was
Well, that was two options. I just gave two options.
Grabs the puck in the defensive zone.
You're never give it.
So the Truths, or tell the truth, and 20,000 children will be raped. There was that first one about like lying or whatever, but then the second one was tell the truth both times. But if you tell the truth in this scenario, 20,000 kids to be raped, and then if you tell the truth in this scenario, nothing happens. It was very
My forte isn't pleased with your rhetoric.
Game doesn't get extended, and then they would have done that one with the extra cushion, but it goes off the post and out.
He said that I live up to my name and I destroy everything around me. Wildflowers do not destroy everything around them.
There's so much motion. Everyone is moving, and when they're moving, they're disrupting coverage and giving themselves lots of looks at the net. And they've been rewarded with a couple goals.
And the goaltender grabs that one for a whistle to try to
she plants you guys for.
Farming and farms.
me. That's why my name is Chicken on my other account.
The Panthers win the draw and they go on the attack here in the offensive zone.
Chicken.
Sanheim's got it in the
It's
defensive
because I'm
end.
a runner, actually. That's why.
On the attack into the offensive end.
Thank you. Thanks.
The Panthers
You're a
take it away.
TRAW host. Thank you. I look terrified on most days. Where did she's probably going to bed.
4J's like my best friend. Wait. On the size. So far, we're good.
We've been live for 3 hours and 18 minutes. That's true. That's true. I am told now that people check. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
She said a couple chicken jump.
Thank you. You.
that made you laugh?
Moments away from puck drop for period number 3. A perfect time for those viewers just...
You though.
That's not true. Yeah.
I have.
I've been used. Minutes was
here tonight, and we are still scoreless. And the puck is dropped here in the third. Both these goaltenders have been dialed in tonight. And an easy glove save on the play. Takes the feed from the goaltender. Takes a spill onto the ice and loses the puck. The Penguins are across the line and into the offensive end. And he sidesteps the check there. And he drove the net. Rocks on the play. Quick feed to Crosby. Zuccarello's moving it ahead.
This guy is very confused.
Quick shot. Comes up with the stop. I think he got a block.
Abolitionists. Pro-choice love abolitionists. Y'all don't vote for nothing. Well, that's not true.
Not one.
I don't think we talk often enough about the skill of balance on your edges. I mean, he is able to manipulate because he is so strong and he's able to hold on to the puck even though the defenders are right on him.
Fires it. Stops by the goaltender.
Well, he makes an incredible save on a point-blank shot here, James. I love the way he's aggressive, he's competitive, and he wins the battle.
And it goes off a stick and off to the side. Scooped up along the wall by Crosby. Into the offensive end. And he elects to play the puck. Middleton stick handling in his own zone.
There you go.
The Penguins take possession in the defensive end. Pittsburgh's got it across the line. Moves it to Zuccarello.
I don't know how to legal. I don't know how to.
Fantastic save.
Well, this is an incredible athletic save, but this is all instinct. There's no time to put yourself in position. You just react, and if you get there, you get there. What a great job.
Know what it is. No. How to
Well, I don't know why you're saying separate. I'll be right back. Separation of church and state is not in the Constitution, so it's not the law of the land. Basically, it's a letter from Thomas Jefferson
on their legs,
regulated,
their
well banded,
foundation, the lower half is so
there's
critical.
They would still
basically
find a
saying
way, like, on it.
Slides the puck ahead
Yeah,
to
and that,
Eklund.
that would be God's grace. Yeah, I mean that's literally
Puck
God's
sent down the
grace. Like
ice.
there's
We'll
no
get an icing.
witnesses. Okay, but listen,
We haven't even hit the midway mark of the period. Still no score in this one.
The point is God's supposed to protect innocent people.
And they take possession off the draw here in their own end.
Huge win by the center to give his team an opportunity to
All
get
these
out of the
women
zone
that
after
were
a
doing
critical
this,
icing.
And that's knocked away
thing
by
is, it's like
Anderson.
if
And that pass is
if a
redirected.
woman takes the
Picked up
pills,
along the wall by
nobody
Kidman.
witnesses her doing this. Nobody witnessed her even being
Takes a
pregnant.
shot.
The only
Too
person
much
that knows that she's
congestion in front.
pregnant was her and the person she got
And the puck's booted away. The Sharks have it now.
because it's
Bang! Oh, my
managed
God, with his
abortion.
head down and now the stitch down counter.
Well, James, that's what happens when you're not expecting the hit
Taking
because
the
you're playing
pills,
with
so
your
there's
head
no
down.
case.
I mean, his twig goes
That's
flying. He
taking,
really
like,
looks
what I-
off kilter
yeah.
and stunned after that hit.
Please let
And
me
he loses
respond before I
possession of
forget.
the puck
Somebody
after
forget.
trying to make one too many moves.
So,
And showing off his
the-
skill set, trying to make a silky move around the defender, but he gets
I
denied.
want to make sure it's clear that
Slides
the
the puck into
resolution
the
to this,
offensive
that,
zone.
or what you want to
Puts
see,
it on net.
the outcome is
Yeah, they would.
Has shown no signs of slowing down. They have put lots of pucks on net and
just
lead
beat
late in the
Like
true.
there
George
shouldn't
just
just
said
be
some of the evidence is taking the pill. If she took the pill, isn't that murder anyways under God's law?
Yeah. I think I have one more minute. Passes.
and go
This
forward.
would
Even
Oh,
be
stop.
would never work. This is why pro-choice never works. It's like,
Wait, why would it never work?
this has nothing.
So let's say, let's.
Out how the judicial.
wait. So do you want to wait? Well,
I don't know if it would never work. I mean, obviously there are countries where it's banned. I don't know. That's not a reason not to put it in the law. Just because it's very hard. It's not a reason why.
moments away from puck drop for period number 3. A perfect time for those viewers just joining us here tonight. And we are still scoreless. It has been all advantage goalies for the first 40 minutes. Will that change here in the third? Quick pass to Edvinson. The Red Wings slide the puck near the point. Moves around along the half wall. Here's a short pass to Larkin. From the blue line, they take control of it. And that's intercepted by Dodson. Avoids the poke check. The Habs played along the wing. Goalie plays it up. Quick feed to Larkin. Stoppage in play as we get an offside. Inching closer to the midway mark of this period. The game is still scoreless. And off the face-off, they take possession. Detroit's got the puck. And that nullifies that. Here's a chance! And what happened there, partner?
Well, I think sometimes when you have time and you're trying to process, you're taking a little bit too much time. And I don't think there was the confidence, right? The confidence to know
Okay, and so what? 43. Oh. I mean, I'm not just looking at that one. Why should